right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Curveball by G. This week, I have John Pulskamp, who is the goalkeeper for Sporting Kansas City and recently just hopped across the pond to go to the Olympics. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, so we'll have to get into that. But absolutely. Thank you so much for being on. I'm happy to have you.
Yeah, of course. No, thank you for having me on. Been a viewer for a little bit now, so happy
for
to
a couple weeks.
Yeah, no, seriously, been a viewer for a couple weeks now, and happy to be on the other side of it.
Well, thank you so much. So as you've probably, if you have viewed, you've probably heard, like, I want to get to know, well, I know you guys a little bit deeper, want the crew to get to know you better. My few viewership that hopefully will soon rise, that we can start negotiating deals, right?
Good things take time. You know?
Yeah. So with that being said, I met you now a few years ago.
Oof, yeah. It's been a while.
Where I had to ID you.
It's been long enough where I don't know when it even was that we first met.
Yeah,
so
I definitely had to
ID
you, though, because I didn't believe.
And you did ID me.
Yeah, I didn't believe how old you were.
You did ID me.
I was like, this is, you're lying.
No, story of my life.
You're lying to me.
Story of my life. Story of my life. It's been this way since I was very, very young.
Yeah.
Just always have looked beyond my years. People tend to not believe me when I tell them my age.
What was a couple weeks ago leaving the game? You're like, you keep forgetting how old I am.
Yeah,
you
were
going one place and I was going another.
I was going someplace. You guys are going there. You're like, people are.
I was
I'm
like, what? Why?
You know, yeah, exactly. Like, I'm 23. All right, guys. You know what?
And when I met him,
everyone else is going to bed.
I think you were 21.
Oh, maybe even 20?
Yeah.
21?
No. Because we were legally having a beverage.
I was 21, yeah.
Yeah, we were legally having a beverage, and we were with Daniel. That's what it was, because I invited you to my 30th birthday party, and you were like, 30. You were like...
I don't think I reacted. I don't think I'm that rude to react that way. I was probably just like, oh, like, you know.
I think you were shocked, right?
Okay.
Right?
Well, take it as a compliment.
Right? You were shocked. I didn't look 30, but I was like, oh,
exactly.
you
don't look
come
30.
to my 30th birthday, and you were like, no, I don't believe you.
Yeah, see, it was more, no, I don't believe you. And then that's how the topic of age came up,
yeah,
of course.
And then I remember looking at Daniel and being like, how old is this kid you brought?
Yeah, who's this child that's with us?
Just scooted out of college. College years.
Exactly, college years.
Yeah.
College years.
Speaking of college years, you didn't really do that.
No.
We went straight pro as like a basic child.
I have to, it was so funny. So like during those quote unquote like college years,
you were a grown man.
Yeah, well, like people would like people my age would just say like, oh, I'm a junior or I'm a senior or I'm a sophomore, and I would be 21, 22, and I have to like think about it for a sec, like, wait, like would I be a junior right now or would I be a sophomore? Like are they my age? Are they older? Are they younger? Like I don't because I never went to college, so you almost like lose track.
You lived a very different life. Like that's kind of like
it was very different. It was very different.
A curveball, right?
It was a curveball.
Your life was different. So like
no, my life's always been very, very unique. Yeah.
Are from the LA area.
So I was born actually in the Central Valley of California, about 2 hours northeast of LA.
Okay.
Blue collar town. Not the city doesn't have the best reputation. It's not exactly the nicest place, but it's home. I love it. It's Bakersfield, California. And I lived there until I was about 15. And then it was 15 that I decided it was time to pack up the bags and really pursue soccer full time.
Yeah, that's casually when I decided to become a pro athlete too.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, it was years in the making and years of back and forth with the family. Funny enough, I was actually kind of set to leave when I was either 13 or 14.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. So I was 13
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I was 13 or 14. I was doing well for my like club academy team just locally. And I was playing for the U.S. youth national team at the time, just in the U14s. I mean, I'm still a kid at that point.
Yes, very much.
But actually it was Seattle Sounders. Was a club that was reaching out and had seen me at different showcases and stuff. I went to Seattle 2 or 3 different times for a week or two at a time, training with the team, training with the academy, and I was gung ho on it from the first day. Like, this is great. I'm in a professional environment. So that was my first, I guess, exposure to.
When did you start
professional soccer.
playing soccer?
Oh, I started playing soccer when, we start way at the beginning. So I started playing soccer when I was 4 or 5.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but really,
So
but I will say.
But that's actually crazy because if you're like 4 or 5 and then when you're like 12, you're like, I'm a pro. Like,
well, yeah. I wasn't signing. Yeah, that's when the
trajectory.
That's when the idea of like, okay, this is a realistic career path for me. Like, that's when that idea first came into my head. I guess that's when the switch flipped from, oh, that's my dream. Oh, I want to be a pro soccer player to, wait a second, I actually can become a pro soccer player, and that's what I want to do. Now let's start putting the pieces together on how to actually achieve that. So I'm the youngest of 3 boys. I have 2 older brothers, and I'm a soccer player purely because of them. Literally, I say 4 or 5, but it was really since I could walk, because they were soccer players.
Yeah.
And I was the youngest. So, when, you're the youngest, you do what your older brothers do.
They're probably really old like me, right?
No. We were all close in age, and stop that. But no, we're all close in age, and yeah, they were just playing soccer, and I just kind of followed suit because I would just follow my older brothers around, and was, I guess, my first experience. My first experiences playing soccer was just with them. It's funny. I'll have to send you this picture. Is actually, I was too young to like join a team. So, but I wanted to like be on a team. So like I used to take my brother's old jerseys from like their old like AYSO teams, and I would wear those, and I would go to their games in that, just so I felt like I was like, oh, I have my uniform on, like I'm part of a team. And I used to just be like by myself, like just dribbling a ball in a circle at like 4 or 5 years old or whatever it was.
So cute.
And there's this picture of me with like these sunglasses on that, I kid you not, I took off of a stuffed animal.
No.
I was 5 years old.
A stuffed animal?
It was like a Build-A-Bear sunglasses. Yeah, I swear to God, my family gives me so much stick for it.
I can't wait
like,
to see this
they
photo.
wind me up, so I've got these like little
We'll
mini.
like insert the photo in the podcast.
No, seriously, you'll have to, because I've got these like little mini sunglasses on, some uniform of a team I don't play, AYSO uniform of a team I don't play for, and it's like me dribbling a soccer ball. And it's just like, who's that weird kid? So yeah, my brothers always give me crap for that, but yeah, so I mean that's how it started. And
did
then,
they play?
Were
Were they goalies too, or
no? So oldest brother was a central defender, and the middle brother was a winger. Played out on the outside, so they were
good practice for you.
Well, I mean that's how I ended up becoming a goalkeeper. Was again purely.
They were like, go over there so we
purely because of them, of me just exactly being the youngest, and them saying go in goal, and we'll blast balls at you. And I gladly did it because I didn't want to run. So I was like, I'll go in goal, no problem. I don't have to run, and I get to dive around and get muddy.
Totally different conditioning though.
Exactly. No, which I quickly learned, but yeah, I was a bit of the wild child, so I had no problem diving around and just rolling around. I had very little. I guess regard for my health and safety.
Thank God you had no fear.
I was was any chance I got to just jump and do flips and roll around, I was doing it. So
right there with you on that one.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just a natural fit for me to be a goalkeeper, and then yeah, it just worked out. And
so then you moved away at a very young age.
So then I was playing well. I was doing all right. Go to Seattle.
He's playing all right.
Super excited about it. Like again, first I guess exposure to the professional environment. Fully convinced like this is what I want to do. I want to be a professional soccer player, and I had convinced myself in that moment like this is how I'm going to do it. Like this is what I need to do. And then I remember getting called into the meeting with their academy director, and there with my parents, and they told me like, hey, we would like to have John. We have this host family situation. He'll move up here. He'll live with a family. He signs his contract. And for them, it was very cut and dry. It's like what they do. It's what they deal with on a day-to-day basis.
It's literally transactional. It's work.
Yeah, exactly. It's work. It's transactional. And for them, they're probably doing that throughout the year with a ton of different kids, or they've done it 100 times in the past. So for them, it's like kind of no big deal. Like, here's the paperwork, here's this, here's that. And then my parents are kind of like, hold on a second, like, pump the brakes. What do you like? That's our child, and he's still very much a child. Let's talk about this. And Seattle was a bit kind of like, well, what do you mean? Do you guys want this or not? And then it turned into a lot of long conversations with my family, a lot of just I guess emotion. You know, I'm a young kid. I'm like, I want to do this. This is what I need to do. And then they're just kind of like, relax, you're still a kid. So ultimately they made the decision. I mean, I was 13, 14, and I didn't have much say in the matter. So they thought it was a bit early. They thought I was a bit young, so they didn't want me moving.
Yeah, I feel like
all
that's
the way
younger
up to
than I've usually heard.
Exactly. So that is pretty young, even for the young academy guys going out to different teams. So they decided they didn't want me moving out to Seattle, which now in hindsight I completely get. Like, I'm saying that at 23, not even like a 45-year-old father, but just actually saying like, I get it for sure. But in the moment, it was real frustrating for me, because I was like, like, this is what I got to do. But then in the meantime, kind of as a compromise, my mom said, okay, I will we'll find a middle ground and we'll support you, because essentially I had kind of outgrown my current situation in Bakersfield, of the city I'm from. Just with the resources I had there, I knew it was time to either join an MLS academy or I had to do something basically to continue progressing the way I was. And then my mom was just absolutely amazing, and she drove me and my brother, who was playing at the time, at the same level, would drive us literally 3 to 4 times a week down to LA, or 5 times including games, but 3 to 4 times a week.
Oof, with that traffic?
Yeah. So like 2 hours in. We were lucky enough that our family had a beach house.
That's nice.
Not too far from where this team, this Real SoCal, this non-MLS affiliated academy, was playing in kind of North LA. So it was about an hour and a half away from where I was living, and about 30-40 minutes away from where we had this beach house. So she would drive us to training, and then we would stay there for 2 nights, just so I could be able to stay in the academy system and train with a high level academy. And I guess our compromise was she'll do that for me for 1 year, and then I could at least be home for 1 more year, and then after that year, then I will be free. I will be given permission to join.
What a saint.
Yeah, exactly. No, so can't thank them enough. So obviously my parents did so much to support my career. They sacrificed so much. They did so much. Like I said, I mean, really my whole life was that. My mom driving me all around the state of California, paying for trainings and just a million different things that you could imagine. So she was massive in that. And then after that year, it was time to get going. I was eager and I was motivated. And then after that year with Real SoCal, there was a few different options, I guess, or a few different academy teams that I was talking with. And funny enough, Sporting Kansas City was one of them. So I actually almost ended up in Kansas City. Back when I was like 14, 15.
Then you would have been like a homegrown.
Or like 15. Yeah, exactly. So funny enough, the person who brought me to the club later was the same person that was trying to bring me to the club. And he's actually my agent now. So yeah, it's crazy.
Whoa, I love that.
Yeah, so crazy.
What a full circle moment.
Exactly. So his name's Gavin McInerney. He was working as the academy goalkeeper coach for Sporting Kansas City at the time. Had reached out to me, basically just saying, look, I think you're good. I think we could use you here. Cool. I think we could help develop you. I was talking with him, and yeah, basically it was a very, very serious conversation. Ultimately, I decided to go another direction. I ended up staying close to home, going down to LA to join the LA Galaxy's Academy.
Which I'm sure your family was so happy with.
Yeah, they were happy. And with all due respect to everyone else, Galaxy, I grew up watching Galaxy.
Well, right.
That's my home club. Like, that's my boyhood club, I guess you could say. Like, I grew up going to Galaxy games. I grew up supporting the Galaxy. and the Galaxy's Academy was the best. Like we were really, really good. We went to 3 national championships, like of the academy, the academy finals, and it was just really, really, I guess, prestigious, especially at that time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, that's a really, if I have an opportunity,
great look.
Exactly. If I have an opportunity to be a part of that, like I want to be a part of that. So I ended up joining with Galaxy, stayed in touch on and off with Gavin, and then a lot of filler stuff in between. But then fast forward to me being 17, just before my 18th birthday.
Crazy.
We were talking, and I was looking for something, and he said, "Come out to Kansas City. I'm sure we'll still love to have you." And then that's how I landed. That's how
6 years ago.
That's how I landed in Kansas City 6 years ago. I can't believe I've lived here for that long. I can't believe it.
That is crazy.
It's really crazy. It's flown. It has just flown by. I can't believe I've been here since 2019. I moved out here
I've known you for half of your Kansas City life.
Exactly. Half of my KC life. You've been a part of it. So.
I mean, well, your family is amazing. My family too. My rock. They're how I've gotten where I am. But like that, to be honest, that's like kind of a lot of pressure when your family goes all in on you, right? And it's like if it's not successful, it's just kind of like shit.
It is, but it's also like I knew it was never that, you know.
For sure. But I mean, personally, your family doesn't. They go all in because they love you and they support you.
Exactly.
It's like you personally.
Exactly.
But I mean, clearly it worked out.
No, but I get 1,000% what you're saying. Like it's so easy to put that like internal pressure on yourself. Like, or I guess.
I do it bad.
You make up these scenarios where it's like, oh, they're investing time, money, effort into me to support me. Like I can't fail now because now I have other people riding on it. Like 1,000%. Like I get that.
Right. And that actually leads me to another point. I was talking to one of my friends the other day, one of the athletes that I work with on NFL side. Okay. And it's crazy because it's like your age is 23, which sounds like so young, right? But I mean, these guys are coming out to play professionally in football more at like 20 to 23. You are like, you guys are coming out like literally in your teens still, which is insane. But like what we were talking about is the way that professional athletes, for the most part, not all of them, but some of them, you guys have to grow up so fast. Yeah. Like literally so fast. You're getting money, you're getting
just free. Yeah, you
freedom.
You have freedom, money. There's
so much more responsible, responsibilities that you have to go with, and it's like you legit are like a mature 12-year-old. Not really, but like I'm saying, it literally is. So crazy.
It literally is. Like, so for example, like part of that initial discussion when I was talking with my family, like, oh, I want to move to Seattle. A lot of it was like, no, you're still a child. We're still raising you. Like, we're not ready for you to be away from us, it's essentially.
Like grow up.
Exactly. You have like a lot of, things that can influence a young person like that, which was their worry.
Especially in Seattle.
Yeah, right. It's like, well, yeah, it's just like the world, like, well, you're 13. You're
chew
very,
you up and spit you out fast.
Chew you up, spit you out. So I was in that moment. It kind of dawned on me. I think I was a little, I guess, mature or wise beyond my years throughout my whole life. Yeah. But in that moment, I remember consciously thinking, you know what? I get what they're saying. I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. But like, I need to show them, basically. I need to grow up here. I need to make sure, I am mature and responsible enough that I have their trust if, come the time I'm ready to go somewhere. So it was like a conscious effort. Plus, I think it also helped that I am the youngest, and I've always been with my older brothers, friends, and just kind of the environment I grew up in was always a very, I guess, mature environment, and I was always the young one having to get on everyone else's level. And then that skyrocketed once I moved to LA. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was still a teenager, I was still doing all that, but I definitely didn't have like a regular upbringing or a regular childhood. I mean, I didn't go to high school. Like I didn't go to regular high school. I didn't go to, I guess I didn't get to experience what it's like to be a teenager here. Like I was living in a professional, I guess, schedule or professional world since my freshman year of high school.
Crazy.
You know, you train in the mornings at the same time that the first team trains, and you have lunch and weights and all this. And then we would do school together online in the afternoons, like the U19s and the U17s at Galaxy. We would do it in the stadium, which
Casual.
is like every kid's it's like every kid's like dream, because like you know, when you're a little kid, like you think it's so cool when you see the stadium and like you get to like walk on the stadium grass. It's like, whoa.
I still think it's cool.
It's still cool, right?
I'm
it's still
like,
so cool. So exactly, it's like you're on the field and it's just like, whoa. It's so funny how those things get like normalized to you as well, like a little side point.
No, it is
like,
wild.
Like growing up, like whether it was like a new pair of cleats or a new pair of gloves or the original ball, like that was like the big thing for us growing up, was like, this is the real ball. Like this is the ball, the $150. This is the $150 like original ball, like as opposed to like the replicas we would play with. So like you see like an original match ball, it's like, whoa, that guy has an original match ball. Like it's sick. Nowadays, it's like, just because you know you're in this professional environment,
cool when you get
but then
to
you have to like recognize, like I have to remember, or like, you know, cleats. Like you get a new pair of cleats for the year. And it's like, this is amazing. And then now, you know, being in the position I am, like those sort of things, like it's like almost every game I'm going through a pair of boots now. So it's like, it's so funny how those things just kind of get like normalized, and you forget how lucky you are to kind of have those resources. But anyway,
and we've done appearances and stuff where it's so fun to like give back to the kids that they are so excited to meet you, and you know, you can hand their gloves
every game. Literally every game I try to throw out my gloves, and I try to throw out cleats that I don't need, just because it's like you have to consciously remind yourself, which I try to do. It's normal. Like if I was in that, I remember I was in those shoes, you know, I was in those kids seats where I'm watching these Galaxy games.
You weren't in there for long.
I wasn't there long.
Only from like 4 to 8.
before I was like, I'm going out there.
You know what? Actually, I got your spot. Step aside.
No, but no, exactly. It's like I have, I mean, some of my like core soccer related childhood memories are going to Galaxy games with family and friends and spending time there. And then exactly how that progressed to me then going to school there, essentially in a conference room.
That's so
like
wild.
We used to be able to see the pitch from our lab. We used to do like chem labs. And you could see the soccer field from the conference room we were in. And we had these like tutors there. So
like I was in school watching birds and stuff out the window, and you're like watching
there,
people.
Like, daydream. It wasn't great. It wasn't great for the focus aspect, because you all just stare out the window and daydream basically. About playing there, but yeah, I mean, it was all online. And then we had tutors for each subject that were there with us just to help us through assignments and stuff. So what was
your favorite subject then? If you like had to do it online, there would be no way I could stay locked in.
So I'm somebody that's very much 100% in or 100% out. So if I'm into something and I'm intrigued, I'm interested, I will be 100% in, or else I'm just like, this is not for me. So the things I'm like definitely like into and will A+ 100% extra credit is English and history.
We are the literal opposite.
So I'm a history nerd. Like my whole family is like geography / history is something like I think my whole family, it's weird. Like we like talk about, like most of our like dinner conversations
are about history
or it's
love that.
It's
yours is way more exciting. Mine was math, so it's like
well, no, but that's the thing. And then so like I guess kind of combined with the history is like I love writing. Like ever since I was a little kid. Like before, I guess one of my little side dreams, which there were many of those outside of being a professional soccer player.
Love a dreamer.
Exactly. Oh, I had a new dream every week. I wanted to be something different every week when growing up. I swear.
Still
it's
me.
Like it's like the soccer player was always like the core, like deep down one.
Yeah.
But then the backup plans varied.
I mean, you do have like a backup modeling career.
Yeah. You know,
he does casually.
The modeling career was not one of those side dreams as a kid, but that sort of came about. But
he gets to the league and he's like, oh, I am handsome.
But no, so one of those things was an author. Like I used to want to be an author. I was like
you can
properly
still do
writer. I still plan on doing it one of these days. A little autobiography might come out.
We'll circle back to this one.
We'll circle back to that because I love reading. I'm a huge bookworm. I read all the time. And one of my favorite things is autobiographies. I love reading autobiographies of athletes, historical figures.
Can you do that?
Anything. So, yeah.
Look, you have
down
a
the
unique
road.
life.
Down the road. It's in the plans.
I mean, you could then write about going to the Olympics.
I could write about my experience
speaking
at the
of
Olympics.
dream, what was that like?
That was.
I mean,
yeah,
we
that
went
was
to.
amazing.
I remember when we went to coffee, and you like said that you were like kept getting invited to the camps, you know, and we were like, trying to like hold off on the planning and stuff because you don't want to overcommit. People don't understand.
Course.
I don't know if a lot of people understand what it's like in the soccer space to actually get into that Olympic roster.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a crazy competitive industry, sports as a whole. With soccer and particularly pertaining to the national team, it's always one of those things that is, I mean, it's every player's dream. And you're talking about the top 1% of the top 1%.
That's every human's dream.
Exactly.
Not even athletes.
Exactly. I mean, that's really what it is.
I was like I thought I was going to be a sand volleyball Olympian.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you're a nugget. That's
people.
yeah.
Tough sport. Tough sport
for me.
Tough sport for you, but
yeah.
Dreamer's dream.
Dreamer's dream.
Dreamer's dream. Hey, look.
But
possible.
you dreamed and you went.
I dreamed and
let's run it through this one.
Yeah, no, I mean it was it's like hard to put into words because it was such a like sentimental thing for me, like such a personal thing.
And kind of let the people know like what it actually entails because you have to be in a certain age range in the US, right? Mm-hmm. And then like they only allow a certain number of players that aren't within that age range. So it's like you like legitimately were destined to go. Like it's like you had to be
exactly.
the perfect
fit.
It's not that easy.
Exactly. Like that was the time. So like you mentioned, like a lot of people don't know the Olympics for soccer is actually an under 23 tournament, and then you're allowed 3 overage. Yeah, you're allowed 3 overage players. That could be any age.
Grandpas out there.
Yeah, all the grandpas out there. So we had 3 guys that were over the age of 23. Everyone else was 23 and younger. I believe the reason why they do that is because the Olympics has traditionally been a amateur tournament, like they call the word amateur as in just not professionals. Like it's just. It's just because it's the best of the best, you know. But it's often those I guess sports that don't have league, teams. The team sports is where it gets a little, I guess, gray or a little confusing. So then I guess their system for combating that was to implement this being like an under 23 thing. Obviously, they did something a little different with basketball. That's why you see all the NBA players like playing all the time and stuff.
Yeah, now a 3-on-3.
Yeah. So, will that change one day? I'm not sure, but essentially this was my Olympics. Like I
literally
can't go unless I go as an overage player one day, which is always possible. But as for just being a regular player on the regular roster, like this was my Olympic cycle. So if I had missed this one, then it would have been very unlikely I would have ever gone to one. So crazy. Because the overage players is a bit of a random draw, and they're rarely ever goalkeepers. So it was just kind of the stars aligning a little bit between the coach and the players and just the timing of it all. The months leading up to it were crazy to say the least, because it's like. Again, it was something that was so important to me and so sentimental to me. I was thinking about it constantly.
Yes. I was thinking about it constantly for you.
I was just thinking about it so much. I just had that was like the one thing I really, really wanted. And I was performing well in the camps that I had gone to. So I'd gotten called up into the initial camps, which were about 10 months in advance of the 10 months in advance of the tournament. I'd gotten called up to the initial training camps. I was training well. I was playing well. I was getting on with the coach really, really well.
Always a great thing.
Yeah, exactly. So like that was this huge positive for me. Like, things are going really, really well here. I think we're off to a good start. But then things on the club side, in my club career weren't going as well. I wasn't playing. it was tough because.
But I feel like that wasn't a testament to how you were playing, right? It was just
it's the reality of sport,
and it was just like the timeline of Tim's career and all of it.
Exactly.
So it definitely wasn't a testament of play, but
of
it's mentally.
No, it's just the reality.
A struggle.
It's just the reality of sport, like especially in this position. Other sports we always compare it to a quarterback in football.
Yeah.
You can be performing really, really well, but then there's one player on the field, and it's not a position where you can necessarily get subbed on late in a game and have a good 30-minute stretch, and then the coach says, oh, he did well that 30 minutes, maybe let's give him a start here and there, rest the other guys. Like, for those of you that I guess don't know soccer, or like for those that do know soccer, like the goalkeeper's the goalkeeper. Like, you have one goalkeeper, he's the number one, he's the starter, and as long as that goalkeeper is healthy, he's playing, and as long as he's not badly performing and the number two is greatly perform, like where it's this drastic thing, it's not really going to change. And
it's like a kicker in the NFL.
Like a kicker in the NFL. Like, exactly. You have the one. You've got the number one. And Timmy was the number one. And he's a veteran. He's an older player. Love Timmy to death. Yep. He's still probably one of my best friends in Kansas City. So I was playing well and he was playing well. And he's a, longtime starter in the league, legend of the club. And he was playing well and he was doing his thing. And I was constantly trying to chase that job. I was constantly trying to take his job. And we would talk about it openly that
it's the nature of the business.
It's the nature of the business, nature of the job. Like I would come in every day, like, I want to make the Olympics, and if I'm going to make the Olympic team, like, I need to be playing.
Right.
And he would kind of be like, I would talk about that,
and he knew that
openly, like, to him, like, because he would ask me, like, Timmy would ask me, like, oh, like, how are you feeling about the Olympic team? Like, you think you're looking good? It's like, I don't know, dude, I need to play.
Yeah, you don't have.
And then he would kind of laugh.
Reps,
exactly. I'm like,
Yeah, we talked about that a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, because for these international tournaments, people need to remember, like, these coaches, because I've talked to a lot of these coaches about this in terms of, like, roster selection and who they pick to go to these tournaments. And their whole thing is, we don't have a year-long season to compete for this trophy.
Yeah.
You have group stage games and then straight into knockouts. And whether it's a World Cup, a Euro, a Gold Cup, yeah, it's crazy, or Olympics, losing one game could essentially ruin your whole tournament, could knock you out of a tournament.
Yeah.
So these coaches need to ensure that their roster isn't necessarily just all the, I guess, historically best players, but who's in the best form, who's playing at the top of their game right now, that's going to come into this tournament and help us win these 3 group stage games and then help us in the knockouts. It's not necessarily building a roster for a whole season where you're saying, okay, this player and this player will fit well and we'll develop that over time. Like, no, like, you need instant results when building that roster, and you just simply don't have the time to work through, I guess, issues. So given my position and the position I was in personally with me not playing, that was like this huge hurdle that was in my head. And I was talking about it with the Olympic coach. Like it was a known thing. Like, we like you, you're good, you're playing great. But the elephant in the room is you're not getting consistent minutes with your club team, with Sporting. And yeah, that was this huge, I guess, just thought or just, voice in my head. I was like, this is going to be the reason why you don't go to the Olympics, because
that's the break.
It's not that you're not good enough. It's just right now you're not starting. Right now you're not playing because of just the way the things are aligning right now. But again, that was something that was out of my control. So I just had to make sure I was performing well when I was in with the team.
Controlling what you can control.
Controlling what I can control. So yeah, I continued to get called into the team, the U.S. team, the 23s, and did well in camps, performed well in camps. And then there was one of the final camps actually was in Kansas City, and it was just before the Olympics. It was one of the ones that, as it gets closer, you can start to speculate a little bit, like who's getting called up, who's not. And I remember getting a call just a week before that camp was scheduled to happen and having a hour-long conversation, a very long conversation with the head coach, Marco. And and essentially him giving me the news that I wasn't getting called in to that camp, mostly due to the playtime, and they were only bringing in 2 keepers to that camp.
Oof.
And it was this whole thing, and
It's like gut wrenching.
it was gut, like you're like, because in that moment you feel like, okay, like that's it, like I'm not going. But we talked it through. We talked, I was asking questions, and ultimately he left it with, but look, we're going to be in Kansas City. I could only bring in X amount of players, and I'm only bringing in 2 goalkeepers. You're going to be in Kansas City. I'm not bringing in a third, but since you're there, I want you to be part of this team. I want you to.
They're throwing a lot of butts at you.
Exactly, throwing a lot of butts at me, but it was great. This was a great one, and I really do think this helpful. Is like what helped me like really seal the deal in terms of being on the flight to Paris. And that was, he said, "Look, come in, train with us, come visit us at the hotel, eat dinner with the team, be part of the team." And I thought that was just the coolest thing. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Marko Mitrovic, the coach of the Olympic team, was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I still talk to him to this day. He's still with the national team, and he is one of, if not the best coaches I've ever worked with. Like, he is truly, like, just on a personal level, on a coaching level, like, everything about it was great. And, like, this gesture alone, just saying, look, I can't call you in because of numbers, but I view you as part of this team, and I want you to be around this team, was something that was so special to me, and kind of gave me that, like, opposite of the gut-wrenching call. Like, the initial
that call took a whole turn.
The call went full circle of him like, hey, I'm not going to be calling you in, and then me thinking like, damn, that's it, I'm not going. To him then saying, no, you're part of this team, and I want you to be here as much as you can. So then I ended up training with him. I was training with Sporting still. I was doing I was fulfilling all my club obligations, but then I would train with them in the afternoons, and I was all part of the meetings and hanging out with the guys. And I think it was a really, really good, 10 days, however long the camp was. And then a month later was when the roster came out, and I got the call that I was getting on the plane to France.
Amazing. Your family went, right?
My mom.
Your mom.
My mom, yeah. My
deserved
mom
that one.
Friend. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So after, like I said earlier, all the sacrifice she's given, I wanted her to be there for sure. So she got to go, and I got to see her and hang out with her in France for a bit.
What a surreal moment.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was so special. I mean, like,
so what was the coolest moment, like being in France? Because you didn't. Sorry to cut you off on that.
No, you're good.
So you can finish that thought actually if you wanted to finish.
Well, no, I just wanted to add some context, I guess, as to like why the Olympics in particular were like so special to me and sentimental. Is like, first and foremost, my grandfather was an Olympian.
Crazy.
So my grandfather competed in the 1960 Olympics in Rome, Italy.
Just a bunch of Olympians over here.
Yeah, I'm actually named after him. So
oh my God, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, second John Pulskamp to be an Olympian. He was a weightlifter.
Wow.
So he was a weightlifter in the 1960 Olympics representing the United States, and he placed 4th.
Damn.
Yeah, he got 4th place in the Olympics. So just one shot, one spot off a medal.
Damn.
Funny story about that my family always shares is he actually got engaged during his he got engaged right before the Olympics, right before his in his training camp.
Yeah.
Was when he decided to get engaged, and his coach, his head trainer, was not a fan of that and said,
why?
Thought it was a distraction. Said he said, I love
those women.
Yeah, just wait till after.
Massive distractions.
Just wait till after the Olympics. Yeah. But then I guess he wanted to do it then, and then the coach thought he was better than the guy that got silver and bronze. I said, you should have beat both of them, but you were distracted before. I know it's more of a funny. It's a funny story that we still joke about, and my grandma always laughs about it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm the reason he didn't get his medal. So she just takes it. She's like, remember when your coach blamed me for you not medaling? It's your fault. Like, all in jest, all in a lighthearted manners.
She's gonna give that to him all the time. You don't have a medal because of me.
Exactly. I mean, to this day, we still hear that story of her teasing him. But yeah, so I mean,
that's so awesome.
Yeah, just the fact that he went to the Olympics and named after him, and I just thought that'd be so cool if I got to do that as well.
Same name,
same name and everything.
Same bloodline.
So I have his back then they used to give like big diplomas. So it's like this big wood plaque with a diploma.
Oh, nice.
And that's his Olympic diploma.
Like certification or
yeah,
what is your, did you get something like that?
Yeah, so we got a whole bunch of stuff. Like,
got a bunch of clothes too.
A whole bunch of clothes.
John came back looking like a whole was it Ralph Lauren?
Ralph Lauren.
I mean, he is a model, but he straight up looked like he was just like on the little runway every day.
So I left with one checked bag and a carry-on.
Oh, okay.
I came back with 4 checked bags and 2 carry-ons that were stuffed like to the zippers were breaking.
Holy crap.
With 4 like large checked bags.
Hopefully the Olympics paid for those bags.
They gave us the bags.
Oh, wow.
Like they were the bag, like they were these massive duffel bags.
They pay the fee too?
And they pay the fee, flew us business. It's great. No, the
Good
national
for
team.
them.
Shout out the national team.
Shout out USA.
Shout out USA national team. They take care of us very, very well.
Oh, that's so cool.
So they took care of us, but yeah, no, in terms of the amount of gear was just outrageous. I mean, I gave so much of it away, and I still have more stuff than I could have a whole closet, whole wardrobe of Team USA gear.
Which is so cool.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's stuff I'll keep for my whole life for sure.
What was like the moment when I mean, I can only imagine because soccer was different. So you guys didn't play in Paris the whole time, right? Like you went to different,
one game in Paris.
And you went to different cities within France.
Yeah.
So what was the moment where, what was your favorite city you played in? And then what was the moment where you were standing on the pitch and you were like, oh my God.
Yeah, I think it hit us all together pretty quickly. So we did our initial like pre-tournament camp. So we went about 2 weeks before the Olympics actually started.
Yeah, you were gone for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, about a month. No, maybe even longer. Yeah, no, about 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks. But we started with the initial 10-day pre-camp in Bordeaux. We were at this beautiful,
it's beautiful there.
Yeah, beautiful hotel, kind of tucked away in the woods, small town, which was great. Got to spend a ton of time with all the guys, and we were so close. Like that team,
I love that.
Those guys are all great. I'm friends with all of the guys, but really good friends with so many of them. Still talk to all of them all the time. So we were just all hanging out in France together, basically.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. You know, it wasn't like, oh, we got to get to know each other. It's like a lot of us had known each other for a long time.
Yeah, you've been
even the
playing
guys,
together.
Even the guys that we didn't, I guess, necessarily know super well. We knew, I guess, the mutuals. Like there was always like
one person removed,
exactly. So then you get to know people really, really
small
fast.
World
it's a small world in the soccer world. So we did that, and then we went to Marseille. We spent the bulk of the time in actually Marseille, which is a beautiful place. It was great. Yeah, it was fun. And
northern,
I would say,
or where's that?
No, it's south.
South? Okay.
Way south. Yeah, way on the south coast. So yeah, I mean, the weather was great.
I'm sure it was.
Beaches.
Yeah. Because you were also there in the summer, so that is like summer, I went in June to like the French Riviera, and it was stunning weather. So I can imagine.
Exactly. I mean, the weather is perfect, and I would say that's definitely when it really hit us, because in Bordeaux it just felt like a camp, like just a regular national team camp. But then once we went to Marseille, we went to the stadium before the day before the game. Got to see all the stadium, and you see everything's Paris 2024 and all this stuff, and then the stadium, Marseille Stadium, is this gorgeous stadium, like probably the nicest stadium I've ever been in. Like just the architecture, it's huge, but it's all white. So all the stands are just white. So it's this, you're just looking at this 60,000 plus seat stadium that's just all white, and everything's got the Olympic branding on it. And we're standing on the pitch, just like this is insane. So then that's when it first kind of hit us, and then our opening game was against France.
Oh, wow.
So
it was probably really loud.
So host nation, sold out, crazy loud. And we were in the locker room before the games, and it was, again, I don't know if it's just the way most stadiums are designed or set up, but at least here in the United States, ton of super nice stadiums in the MLS, new stadiums, nice. But when you're in the locker room, you're kind of actually removed from, I guess, everything. Either their soundproofing is really good, or they position the locker rooms in a way where you can't really hear what's going on outside. It's just you're in that locker room. This was the first time that I got to experience like hearing the noise through the walls, like actually like you read about it with like old European soccer players in these European stadiums, but like you could actually hear the faint like chanting and feet stomping on the stands and everything. So like we're in the locker room and you could literally hear it like just
it's not for you, but it's
like
still so cool.
Slightly, yeah, of course it's for France and the host nation. But no, it's so cool. It's like you get like chills in that moment of like
I have goosebumps right now. That's so cool.
Like hearing the crowd like faintly in the background. It's just like, whoa, like this is gonna be sick. And then when we walked out, it was like just a sea of people all just chanting and screaming and yelling, and that was the moment I was like, well, this is
real.
This is crazy. Yeah. Hadn't had that feeling in a long time of like.
Well, because you just said like things get normalized, right? So you're used to playing in front of people. You're used to
playing in front of people. You're used to.
That's just next level.
I guess you're kind of you're used to what is normal to you in terms of going to stadiums I've played in before.
Yeah, your routine.
It's around the MLS or playing in games or seeing different crowds like that. But then there was something different about it. Like whether it's just it being international football, I feel like it's always different when you're playing for a country. And just it being against France in France with that many people and how loud it was.
Wild.
It was chills for sure.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
No,
that was so awesome. That was so awesome. What a ride that was.
Yeah. No,
and then now we're back and we just kicked off MLS.
Right.
So time frame for this. We just kicked off like technically not the internal tournament, but we just kicked off 2 weeks ago. 3
weeks ago, yeah. 3 games in.
3 games in, and now we're back to starting goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So
got the job now. So yeah, got the shirt. It's been the thing I've been chasing. It's been the thing I've been waiting for. So
is your family coming out for any games anytime soon?
Yeah. So my mom had come out for the.
Did she come out for the home opener? Well, words.
So not the opener not the MLS season opener, but the
cold one?
The cold one.
Oh my God, she hated that. I'm sure it was so cold.
I told her, I was like, what are you doing? She was like, I want to see you play against Messi. And
yeah, I was actually gonna say that. So you come
so I was like, come to Miami. Like
the same year, like you go to the Olympics, Messi's like playing casually in Kansas City because we played at the at Arrowhead.
Arrowhead, yeah.
Same thing. 72,000 people, loud as hell.
That was crazy.
Wild.
That was absolutely crazy.
Honestly, also knowing that 72,000 people showed up for that one man basically is crazy. I mean, of course there were sporting fans, but let's be real. I mean, like that's be real. Crazy.
They were there for Messi, which is
all the people that like jumped on the field.
Which I say that like no shame, like I get it. Like, that's literally like that's the GOAT.
Like you got to play with a literal legend on the field.
That's not just a legend. Like that's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah. Undeniably the GOAT.
Yeah,
like, it's outrageous. Like it's really weird to think about. And
what a year! 2024.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why like my mom was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come out for the Miami game." I was like,
"Go to Miami."
I was like, "Yeah, like come to Miami." Like it's going
to
be
I feel like you don't know when he's not gonna play and when
yeah, she was like, I was like, it's gonna be like negative, like 5, 10, below 0.
Not gonna lie, I love you guys, but I did not.
I don't blame you. No, so one of my really really good friends here asked for tickets. I got him tickets, and then he was like, hey, I'm really sorry, but I'm not going to go to the game. And I got him tickets, and I told him, I was like, dude, I don't even know why you asked for tickets in the first place. Like, don't go. Like, I'm recommending that you don't go. Like, it's just not. Yeah. It's just not a good idea. But
Eric texted me and was like, would it be stupid to send you tickets? And I said, I love you, but yes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, there's no point. Yeah, like, if I wasn't playing in that game, I wasn't going to be at that game.
Hell
no. But yeah, she said, no, I want to see you play against Messi. And then I guess that's when it kind of like, I like thought about it too. Like it kind of like hit me. I was like, oh shit, like I'm about to play against Messi. Like, I grew up like, and not even just Messi, but like Messi, Suarez, Jordi Alba, Busquets, like guys I grew up watching, like properly grew up watching when I was, because when they were in their prime was when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. So it was like right in that prime time of childhood. You play soccer in the backyard with your friends, and then you run inside to watch Champions League games, or you run inside to watch a World Cup. I mean, 2010 World Cup in South Africa was one of my first, or I guess not first, but like, yeah, I mean, it really, I was like 9.
Okay.
I was like 9 years old. So like that was the first World Cup I really remember. I don't really remember the 2006 World Cup. So watching that in that era, that 09, 2010, 2011 era, like that's when like Messi, obviously he's continued to do it for years beyond that. But all those guys like Messi, Alba, Busquets, like in that 2010, 2011, 2012 period, like they were the talk of the sport and
still are.
and exactly now that they still are, but it's crazy that it's like I was watching them and then they've stuck around long enough for me to come join them, I guess, and at least join them on the pitch. That is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
God, what a year 2024 was for you.
Yeah, 2024. It was. I mean, the ups and downs and lefts and rights. And
lots of crazy conversations. Yeah. It was yes, but it was a curveball. 2024
was a curveball.
2024
was a curveball for sure.
It ended up being a successful curveball, I feel like. But
yeah, I'd say so. I mean, look, I think it's one of those things where, I mean, can a year really just be like a success or like I feel like it's never that black and white, right? So 2024 was definitely it was such a interesting year for me because it was like just like you said, like a curveball in the sense that I was getting surprised with stuff constantly on both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah,
like just massive positives and these super high highs, but then also hitting probably some of the lowest points in my entire life. Like I hit some really, really low points in 2024 where like just like absolutely the lowest of the lows, and then 2 months later getting some of the best news ever, and then that like completely changed you. So it was just a roller coaster, like left and right. So
I mean, I feel like I've been living kind of by that quote where it's like everything is temporary, right? Temporary. Like, because it is so easy to get pulled into those like low moments.
Oh, absolutely.
And then like literally the next day something crazy could happen. You're like, what was wrong with me?
Exactly.
That actually just happened to be like a couple days ago.
And that's exactly what I say. That's exactly what I say when I like in hindsight. I'm like, what the was wrong with me?
And I
like,
was in
what
like
was
a month
what
of
am
chaos.
I doing?
Like I felt
like,
that.
Deal with it, you know?
Everything. And it's like we know everything is temporary, but when you're in that moment, it's just like you just feel like this like you just keep getting punched while you're down, and you're just like
you can remind yourself of all the regular truths of control you control, everything's temporary, but like when you're actually in those
when
moments,
you're in it, it's
a lot easier said than done. That's
it's
a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, I mean. But like I said, I mean, outside of soccer, you're a model. You
Slow down on that a bit.
You have.
By the way. You keep throwing that out
there. You're a model. You love your outdoorsy stuff.
Outdoors,
like let's.
That's what I identify with.
Yes. Okay.
That's what I identify with.
But he is legit like a model. But
retired,
it's fine. Whatever.
Retired.
I'll bring up the pics.
Somebody brings.
We'll put the pic with the
I'm retired unless some brands want to bring me out of retirement.
You hear that? You hear that? Look at that face.
Somebody bring me out of my modeling retirement.
Hey, I think I have a call with Garmin this week. So
there you go.
You'd be perfect for that.
Watch model.
You might have to fight Lo and Roger for that one.
Yeah.
Not
a fight I'm
they want to be divers.
Yeah.
So
they want to be divers.
Yeah, they started their little scuba diving experiences.
Did they really?
Yeah, when they travel, they scuba dive everywhere.
They got their scuba license.
That's a little tidbit we're working on over there. But we can get you into a rock climbing thing.
I love that. Exactly.
Yeah. But so no, I mean we know you now on the soccer space. Give us before we close out this little convo, like what is the true John Pulskamp outside of soccer like? Because I think it's hilarious, guys.
Just a ski bum, outdoorsy.
Like what was the off season? What did you do in your ever so short off season of the MLS?
Basically lived in my truck.
See, and outside. He spends time at Toyota in his off time.
Yeah, so
just shout out
Toyota. Got a Tacoma, big rooftop tent on the back of it, big old 34s on it, and
it's so funny.
And that's my off-season adventure mobile. Yeah. Every year I do a massive road trip. I go west. I stop in. My brother lives in Denver. He's a super outdoorsy guy himself, big snowboarder. So I do this road trip every year, where I pack up the car with all my gear and I head west on the 70, and I spend time in Colorado, Utah, Nevada, and anywhere else I want to go. And funny enough, my mom actually joined me on this one.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So she
what a rock star.
I know she really does it all. She's a jack of all trades. That's for sure. She's She's multifaceted. She does it all. She does the outdoorsy stuff with us. And
Sits in -5 degrees.
Sits in -5 degrees. And
what a queen.
What a queen. What a queen.
Wow.
But yeah, no. So she joined me on that bit, and then the rest of the off season, was just spending time in national parks and spending time outside and
literally just a straight up outdoors guy.
Literally just being in the mountains. I love it.
I love that for you.
I love
it. Just I feel like when I learned that piece of you, I was like,
So funny enough, we're talking about the Tacoma.
Yes.
I'm selling it. Getting rid of the Tacoma.
What are we doing?
We're doing a van. Getting a Sprinter.
That's what you're gonna drive to, like, you have another car.
No, I have a car. I have another car.
You pull up in the Sprinter.
No.
He's like, he valets a Sprinter.
Yeah. No, me pulling up to a game with my converted Sprinter van would be something. I thought about that. So I thought about that actually, so many times in the past. Of like, okay, I really want to do this van. Like, I've got this like dream of
I feel like we could work on some sponsorships for this.
I mean, that would be great.
Yeah, this is news, guys. I'm gonna write this down right now, so
seriously,
I don't forget.
And I literally thought about it. I was like, I could do it. Like, I don't care. Like, who cares if people think I pull up in my home on wheels?
Literally.
But then,
wait, I love this.
Last year, I ended up, acquiring another vehicle as my daily driver. And then that kind of made me think like, okay, well now if I'm driving this, I could finally do that Sprinter build I've been dreaming about. So
please promise me you'll drive it to just one match.
Oh,
please.
I absolutely will.
Please, I love this.
I'll tailgate.
Is it white?
I don't have it yet.
Well, what are we envisioning though?
I don't know. That's what I gotta see. I'm still on the inspo phase of
I feel like
this whole
let's
thing.
kind of stay away from the white because that gets a little like
little creepo looking,
little
little creepy van pulling up.
Let's.
That's why you gotta get, if you get the white, you'll see these like little like mountain decals.
Yes.
It's like that mountain decal. They don't put those on those vans to like because I like this. They put those on those
like,
vans.
I am not a creep.
I'm not a creep.
That's what that translates to.
I'm an outdoorsy guy. I sleep in this, nothing else. Like that's what those like little decals are. Like nobody thinks they look good. It's just like it's just like a green flag of like, hey, this is like these are my little like North Face. This is my North Face sticker. I'm gonna put a North Face sticker on my van. It just lets everyone know. Maybe a little roof rack. Like you got to make it look like outdoorsy enough.
I say we go. Let's like get a black one. I feel like.
They've got some better colors out there.
When is the goal to get this one?
It's like a project I'm going to be doing all year. So
we could make this like a little
the weather's
YouTube
warming
channel
up,
thing.
Maybe exactly.
Because then you could like.
Because I'm planning on building it myself as well.
Okay, see.
So
guys,
I'm a real
tapping into like
guy.
an actual meeting for us right now.
Exactly. So building a self converted van. So yeah, I'm a pretty handy guy. Shout out Pops. He helped me. So
because you do houses too.
Yeah.
Like you've been into real estate and flipping houses and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Super. And you like to do all that stuff on your own.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when it comes to the houses and stuth, then obviously I start bringing in other people to help me and stuff. But like growing up, I'd always help my dad, and my dad was a super handy guy, and I would just work, and I would work with him, or he would make me work with him. I don't know, whichever one it was.
He probably made you, and
it was both.
Like a little bit of manipulation.
Yeah,
you get to do this.
Exactly. Sometimes it was like, yay, I get to hang out with dad and work. Game. Exactly. Other times it was like, hey guys, get to work. But through that, I got to learn quite a bit about just basic life, plumbing, electrical, things like that. So I've got some base skills that I think like, okay, I could handle.
You learned that.
I could handle a van build plus enough YouTube University, and you'll be fine.
Someone last night just literally told in front of me at one of the Big 12 games was like, yeah, I went to the Tube University.
Yeah,
and that's what he meant.
That's
was
me.
YouTube
that's
University.
1,000% me.
Oh my God. I was like, that's genius.
I didn't go to school. I didn't. I have learned more. Would be willing to I will die on this hill that I have learned more from YouTube than I
could have.
Would say a lot of other people have learned at their universities with the degrees they paid for.
I could agree with
I'm not saying everyone does that or I recommend that for everyone, but like
definitely not doctors. Please don't.
No.
Surgeons.
But like
please.
I said, like I'm a bit of a history nerd. Yeah. I'm into what I'm into, and like that's like the YouTube I watch is like a history lecture. So I'm
Justin?
learning.
Justin pulls it on like the 2-speed so that he can like make it go faster, but like watch more.
Absolutely.
Like, what a nerd.
Yeah, no. YouTube premium subscriber here until I die. I love YouTube. Like, I spend so much time on YouTube, like mostly learning random stuff. So absolutely.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
I love this. What a new development. Yeah. We'll bring him back on in like a year or something when you've gone on a trip with your sprinter.
With my sprinter van.
This is amazing.
We will. We'll have to update him.
So I don't love road trips, but I'll road trip with you to like a restaurant.
Love road trips. How do you not love a road trip?
Anything over like 3 hours, I'm like,
I love it.
I
absolutely love driving. Like I said, I drive back home to California every single off season, and like that's by choice. Like I look forward to that 10 days, however long I want to spend. I could do it in 2 to 3 days if I really just want to haul, or I'll do it over 2 weeks.
Yeah. The 2 weeks would be what I would have to do just to break it up. Like I cannot.
Yeah, but 2 weeks, that's more nights under the stars. I don't know if you want that.
Well, I would go to a hotel.
The hotel? What do you think we have the van for? That's what the van's for.
Okay, that's true. If you have the van, but then like where do you shower? Because I was just watching the Gabby Petito thing.
Oh my God, I watched that too.
Don't be taking any girls anywhere.
Crazy. I'm not doing any of that.
Ending up on Gabby. A Netflix series, okay? I'm like, I knew it. I told him to get a black van. I told him to get one.
So I watched that.
I thought that. I was like, where did they shower?
I watched that, and my ignorance, I didn't know much about that story at all.
It's not funny. I don't mean to laugh at that.
No, of course not. Like, of course not. But the concept of like,
where do they shower?
So you got two options. So I'll tell you, on my road trips, you got two options for showers. There's literally a company called Shower in a Bag, where it's like wet wipe shower. So
no.
Yeah, like in the outdoor community, like they'll literally call it a wet wipe shower. Like you take a wet wipe shower. Option 2.
I'm writing this down.
Option 2.
I need to know this for all of our brand sponsors.
Option 2 is you go to a truck stop, and you go to a truck stop shower. Shout out Love's. Anyone who's been on a road trip knows about Love's truck stop, that they have amazing showers.
Okay.
And this is why it's like so funny to me, because like I have like this life of just like duality, where on one point, or like, you know, on I guess on one side I'm, you know, living a nice
pretty luxury life.
Pretty luxury life, you know, like I do well, like go to a nice restaurant, nice
way
clothes.
More than what most 23-year-olds are making.
Of course, like, you know, you're going to nice restaurants, and you're wearing you're wearing nice clothes, and you're living this really ultra comfortable life, and yeah, you kind of have that comfort. And then on the other side, I'm like, I'm gonna go shower at a truck stop. Like I could do it all, you know, which is it's funny to think about. It's like just the contrast in how my life is sometimes is great. But I think that's why I do it, honestly.
Humble yourself a little bit.
No, it's like not even like, yes, if like for sure, but then also like, I don't know, I think it's normal for humans to crave some sort of discomfort.
Love that for you. But I will find a shower if I ever.
Yeah, no, the showers are nice. I said shout out Love. Love showers are nice.
No. That scares me. A truck stop shower is
As a woman, you have to be careful.
Yeah,
I'm a 6'3" dude. I don't think anyone's trying to mess with the shower I'm in.
5-foot nugget. I'm just gonna be like, just drop me off at a hotel.
Wet wipe showers it is.
So crazy. Oh my God, I love that. Well, we've learned a lot about you today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've got another thing in my head. I don't even know if I'm gonna share it.
Please, actually share it.
So, somebody was coming on a road trip with me. And, you know, asking the kind of the same question, like, oh, like, what about? Like,
is this a female?
The bathroom. It was my mom.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, like, what about like the bathroom? Like, if we're out like camping, like out in the woods, like, or like we just up. And there's this company that makes these like clip-on lids.
Hell no.
So I have a Lowe's bucket.
No.
No. Listen. No. So I have like a Lowe's bucket.
Okay.
And then there's
Loves and lows, guys.
And then there's a clip on like the 8-gallon bucket or 10-gallon buckets, whatever those buckets are, 5-gallon buckets.
Yeah.
So I've got that bucket, and then it's like a toilet seat that clips onto the top, and there's bags, like special like bags, like a doggy bag basically, that goes around the toilet seat.
Yeah.
And you have your little portable toilet. And like, I was like, so you ask about showers. The toilet's I guess the funnier one in my opinion than the wet wipe shower.
Why didn't I even think of that?
Wet wipe shower is normal. I mean, I don't think that's that out there, but the toilet I could see getting
because
when I tell people about that, they're like, you're weird.
I'm
like, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Like this is hilarious and kind of off topic, but kind of on topic. My dad and I were joking one time about like if I ever went to jail, he's like, what would you do about your skincare routine? So that's like where I'm at. I'm like,
yeah.
What would I do about my skincare routine?
You know, not the first worry that pops into my head.
That is immediately
going to jail, but
there was a reason you didn't think I was 30 when you met me.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
I gotta stay on it, guys.
Don't get arrested then.
Fighting gravity and age and life.
All right. Don't get arrested then, because I don't think. Well, I don't think they
arrested
sell,
or
was it Mario Badescu or whatever in jail.
Listen, I had a moment where we thought I was gonna get arrested. Don't speed, guys. It's crazy. I'll have to tell that story.
Yeah, we'll have to save that. We'll have to save that for.
Fun fact: I did not get arrested.
You're here. You're not arrested.
I'm here and not arrested.
That's good.
Oh God! Hopefully that's not foreshadowing.
Yeah, exactly right. Knock on wood.
Well, thank you for sharing so much of your story. You and I could talk for like literally hours.
Yeah, honestly.
And I'm like, are we still getting sushi and talking more? No.
There we go.
But no, thank you so much. I love getting to know you more. I've learned a lot more that I didn't know.
Good.
I feel like
I'm glad.
I feel like I knew a little bit.
Just peeling the layers back a little bit.
Yeah. So, thank you so much. I am wishing you all the luck this season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I've been to 2 matches of the 3. He didn't even know, and I was in DC this past weekend.
I didn't know. I had no idea.
Wild.
I was gonna say two out of 3 when 2 out of 3 have been away is a very good.
Yeah. Wow.
Very good record there.
Yeah. Just here to support you guys.
No, I appreciate it. We appreciate it, G.
Well, good luck to you.
Awesome.
Congratulations on being #1 goalkeeper this year.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're all excited to watch you do your thing.
Awesome.
And appreciate you having you on. And I'm so glad people got to know a little bit more about you.
Yeah. Hopefully they found it entertaining enough. And
I did.
Thank
especially
you.
the toilet.
Saved it for the end. Save
that shit for the end.
Save that shit for the end. But no, thank you for having me on, G. It was great, and hopefully can get on soon with some updates maybe.
Let them know to join and click to subscribe.
Yeah, click to subscribe, and if you want to follow me on my social platforms, see what I'm up to, it's John_Pulskamp on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, and definitely keep watching him for this van. I'm so excited about
exactly.
this.
So follow me on Instagram. I will be documenting the van build on.
This is so exciting
on Instagram. So this is
I love this.
You're like only like the second person I've told. Like nobody outside of my family knows I'm doing this too. So it's.
Well, now my hopefully
this is like early. This is like early. Yeah, this is early stages. So I got to get on.
We still have a few weeks until this actually comes out to the public.
Okay, so hopefully
so
by
then,
maybe
you can tell
by then,
a few people so that they don't feel so in the dark when it comes out.
There you go. Maybe.
But I appreciate you telling me.
Maybe by then I'll have acquired the vehicle itself. Huh?
It's so crazy.
I know.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I know. I'm
sad about the Toyota though.
I know. I don't know.
What a heartbreak.
I might give it to my brother to keep it in the family.
Maybe just keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family so it's not there. Or Stanley. His name's Stanley. Toyota's
Stanley.
Stanley.
We can't get rid of Stanley.
Yeah, can't get rid of Stanley.
That'd be so rude.
I know.
All right, guys.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you, G. I appreciate it.
Catch us next time with the van.
See you there.
Bye, guys.